Yeah, man, I'm at Citi Bank right now. I want to take my money out. You know what I'm saying? I'm buying a car. I'm doing a friend a favor, right? I'm buying a car for her. She sent me $8,000, right? And when I went to withdraw the money, they said they couldn't give me that money. I said, why not? They said they don't have that cash in there. It's only $8,000. That's not the money. I said, what the hell? It's only $8,000, right? Hold on. So right here, Citi Bank right here. Yeah, so he talking about, oh, next time when I come in, I got to make an appointment for $8,000. I was like, why do I got to do all that? He said, oh, they don't keep that type of cash in here no more. You know what I'm saying? They don't do that anymore. Even check gonna go out soon. So that digital thing gonna come on, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So be ready for that. There's not gonna be no more cash. So be ready for that, y'all. This thing is serious though, y'all. That's messed up though. Wow.
What CBDC and digital IDs and vaccine passports will do is they will snap into place a fourth fence. And when that fence snaps into place, we are locked down financially and digitally. I call it digital concentration camps. This technology can turn our homes, our cars, and our communities literally into digital concentration camps. When I say that, people don't believe that the vision is this dark, but I want to show you 3 videos to give you a sense of what this feels like. The first video is Augustine Carson's, who is he's the general manager of the Bank of International Settlements in Basel, Switzerland. Who here knows who the BIS is? So this is the central bank of central banks. 63 central banks are members of the BIS from Basel, Switzerland. The rarest thing in the world is to see a central banker tell you the truth. Now you're going to get to see a central banker tell you the truth, a very rare moment.
We tend to establish the equivalence with cash, and there is a huge difference there. For example, in cash, we don't know, for example, who's using a $100 bill today. We don't know who is using a 1,000 peso bill today. A key difference with the CBDC is that central bank will have absolute control on the rules and regulations that will determine the use of that expression of central bank liability. And also, we will have the technology to enforce that. Those 2 issues are extremely important, and that makes a huge difference with respect to what cash is.
This is Richard Werner, the top academic scholar in the world on central banking. He wrote the book and did the documentary, The Princes of the Yen, about the Japanese central bank. Here he is in Malmo, Sweden, in May.
The nature of this CBDC, what is it actually going to look like? They never talk about that. But I heard one European central banker tell me what it's going to look like. He saw it. He was invited to one of the old central banks in Europe that are very much promoting this. And they showed him. And, he's a top, executive director of another central bank in Europe, and there's no reason to believe that he was telling me a story. And he was around this large and would be implanted under your skin.
Shalom. As always, I want to start by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honor to the elders that rule well, who are the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone, the men that taught me this truth. Peace and mercy to the hopeful elect in Yahweh Shai. I'm the brother Yawanathan, back with another quick lesson. Lord willing, it's edifying. And now you see why I titled the video what I did. This devil, the so-called white man, he's really pushing for his new world order. And we know, as Elder Apostle Gabar says, the MOTB, the prophecy of Revelation 13, 16 through 18, is the pinnacle of this devil's new world order, the so-called white man. He's a devil. All right, if you didn't know, Esau, Edom. And the central bankers, they're really pushing for this digital currency thing, this CBDC being implemented in all countries in the world wherever they are tied to the central banks. all right, because that's where most of the nations of the world get their currency from. You know, their economy is flowing through the central bankers. And so this is from a website called centralbanking.com. And it says shoppers in Hong Kong encouraged to use EU1. All right, so that would be, you know, the central bank issued digital currency to China, the EU1, because you have the regular yuan, but the E, if I'm not mistaken, it stands for electronic, which is basically interchangeable with digital. So the CBDC, the Hong Kong Monetary Authority, they're pretty much encouraging, it says 1 of 3 not issued banks is encouraging customers to use the EU1 at several supermarket outlets and on Chinese e-commerce platform JD.com. See, so they want people to lean more to this digital economy. Why? Because it's all going to lead to them implementing the MOTB, all right, the CHIP, so you can understand. This is another website called computerworld.com. It says, as China pushes its digital currency plans, the U.S. falls behind. Excuse me. So they're saying that here in the States, you know, in Babylon the Great, that they're not where they want to be with this plan, with this pilot of they have a 15-week pilot plan. I know for here in New York, I'm not sure if it's the city or because I'm upstate, so I don't know if it's for the whole state of New York or just for New York City, but they want to roll out basically a test run on these CBDCs. So what do you see happening? You got people that they want to get their money out of the bank, all right, but due to fractional reserve, what is it called? Fractional reserve banking, where they only keep about 10 or less % of the full capacity, like whatever people's bank account says they have in the bank account. And all the people that have made a business bank account or a personal bank account with that bank, all their money is not really in the bank. All right, if everybody went to the bank all at once, which is what's called a bank run, and try to take out the maximum that they can out of their bank accounts, whatever it says digitally on their phone, the bank wouldn't have enough money for that. They only have about 10 or less % of the actual, you know, currency that is stimulating. So what does that tell you? The rest of it is digital. Now, any one of those people, even if you can't take your money out of the physical bank because they don't have the physical cash on hand, you could still use that to pay your bill, make a purchase, buy or sell. All right, and that's ultimately how this CBDC has been gradually pushed. All right, has been through the banking systems using debt and credit, you know, digital debt and digital credit. Because credit card, you never see that money. That's not physical money. That money doesn't even exist. All right, you have a limit of $1,000. Let's say you don't really have $1,000. The bank doesn't really have $1,000. It's all being done digitally. All right, you spend it, you swipe your credit card, then you transfer from one bank account to the credit card bank account to pay off your credit card. So we already live in a digital society. It's not something that's coming. It's already here. The matter is just executive order or HR 14067. It's just a matter of whenever that goes into effect, which I believe they said it was December 13th, 2022, just last week. That thing went into effect, all right? Where Biden said now the government is going to centralize digital currency through the central banks, all right, through the CBDCs, central bank digital currency. China's digital yuan has been piloted in 15 provinces and tested across multinational financial network. Meanwhile, the U.S. is still developing a digital currency, endangering the dollar's place as the world's reserve currency and opening the door for China to set digital cash privacy standards. It's all being done by the central banks. It doesn't matter. All right, we know that Babylon the Great, it is America, you know, and the whole world is drunk off of America, off of the wine of her fornication, right? That's according to prophecy. But the central bankers have, this is a global effort. This is a global agenda. This is not just in China or just in America. This is going to happen everywhere. So if they do it first, hey, well, Sweden, they're already 90% cashless, or maybe more than that by now. So what? It's going to come in the whole world. They already have the plan. It's already, like Elder Apostle Tahar, he did that video. He went into the word agenda. An agenda is something you have meetings. You know, everything is planned out already, man. All right, it's not just spontaneously happening. And ultimately, it's happening on the Lord's time. You know, that's the most important thing to understand, is that it's prophecy. So anything that's prophecy, let me get Habakkuk chapter 2. Any vision that the Lord gave to any of the prophets, any prophecies, any secrets, is all for an appointed time. Habakkuk 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. What does that mean? When the prophet received the vision, the thing that he saw in that vision, it was future prophecy. It was an actual date and time that he saw in the vision. When the prophet saw America, Babylon the Great, getting destroyed by fire, there's an actual day, an hour, a minute, and a second in which that's going to happen. It already has happened. All right, the future is already determined through predestination by the will of Yahweh and his only begotten son, or through his only begotten son, Yahweh Shai, who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ. Time is already appointed. It's already measured. I got to get a few more, hold on, in between, in the Apocrypha, all right? 2nd Esdras 4 and 37. By measure have he measured the times. See, it's a measurement. So something that's appointed, it can't be changed. It's fixed. It's measured. It's numbered already. And by number have he numbered the times. So that's why the scriptures say what? Esau is the end of the world, the end of the age, eon in the Greek for world. You know, the end of an eon, the end of an age period, a time period. That means everything is numbered and measured. All time is numbered and measured. The day when Yahweh Shai comes back, nobody knows. Only Yahweh knows that. But guess what? There is a particular day, time, hour, you know, minute, and second that's going to happen. And the Lord knows that. Yahweh knows that. So he did that. He's the one that, you know, organized it like that. He ordained it to be so. And he doth not move nor stir them until the said measure be fulfilled. So that means, again, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. It means when the prophet saw that vision, when John the Revelator on the island of Patmos, 96 AD, circa 96 AD, and he received the visions of the book of Revelation. Revelation 13 in particular, in the 16th or 17th verse. When he saw that demon, the so-called white man, Esau Edom, when he saw him causing all people, small and great, rich and poor, that was an actual event that he saw in history that would take place in the future. He was actually seeing that. He saw actual people that already took the charagma. They already took it. All right, we just waited for it to happen, but he's seen the day when they were taking it. And that's why he described it as such, you know, in their right hand or in their forehead, because that's where he saw people receiving it. But it could be anywhere in your body. All right, now we in the time that what? But at the end it shall speak and not lie. Now we know what it's actually talking about. He didn't know what it was talking about. He didn't know what he was seeing. He didn't know if it was going to be in his lifetime. He didn't know if it was going to be in the next lifetime and in the next generation, or 3 or 4, 5, 6 generations later. They didn't know, but we know now because it's the end. The end is manifest. All right, 2nd Esdras 9. You know, measuring the time diligently and knowing that what? The end is manifest. All right, how do we know? Because of the prophecies, man. So now we see, okay, the mark, when he said charagma, and we go to the Greek word for that word mark, charagma, in the Greek, it says an imprint, his stamp, or like an incision. So we know this is a physical mark. This is something that he's actually going to put on people, or in people, should I say, but it has to go on you in order to get in you, right? You're going to have to make a cutting in your flesh, and that's against the law in itself, all right, of Leviticus 19 and 28. But sometimes when they put in that chip, they don't show you that part, but they put like a little X, which is basically a cross on that mark, wherever they're going to insert the charagma in, with the karax, which is the root word for charagma in the Greek, which means a palisade, a pale, or a stake, something to pierce something with. So they put the X on you, they cut it with a scalpel, You know, they put a cross right on the area. You know, X marks the spot. And then they put it right in the middle of the X. That's where they stick the needle in. And then they insert the charagma, which is encased in bioglass. All right. Bioglass is basically a man-made, you know, they took certain elements and substances. I can't get into all the science right now and the chemicals and biology of it, but I mean, biochemistry of it, whatever you want to call it. But if you just look up what is bioglass, it pretty much is degradable glass. So it pretty much breaks down the elements and it sticks to your flesh. That's why you see that guy, Kid Buu. I think it was like last month, the brother had shared the video, this demon trying to take the chip out. He already had the chip for all these years. We remember when he got it, we did videos on it, all that. You know, dude's a demon. He got fucking tattooed eyeballs and all type of crazy weirdo shit. But pretty much he was trying to get that chip out and it took them like 20 minutes, man. They couldn't get it out because of that bioglass. So once that shit is inside of you, you could pretty much kiss your ass goodbye, man. The Lord is not playing with no double-minded bullshit, them that are given to change. You're going to take it, then try to repent. That's an everlasting decision. That's a one-time deal. You take that thing, you're done. That's what the prophet sold. That's what we go by. That's what's written. There's no prophecy of them receiving a mark and then taking it out, you know, unmarking themselves and receiving salvation. It's not written anywhere. So that's how we know that the mark of the beast is not sin, like some of you idiots would say, because how could it be sin if we've all sinned and fallen short of the glory? That means we all had the mark at some point, so then how anyone is going to be saved? See, these guys are morons, man. It says, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. And so that's what we're seeing. Salaki, I sound disgusting, man, but it's just the damn demons, you know, around this time of the year. I mean, I don't normally get sick anyways, but that's, you know, I think it not strange, right, concerning the fiery trial which is to try you. It's always when I want to do a video, though. That's when, you know, I'll be fine. And then once I want to do a video, now I'm getting these sinus issues. And it's just fucking, it's Satan, man. But we're going to move on. It says, China's digital yuan project, a blockchain-based cryptocurrency for consumer and commercial finance, can no longer be considered a pilot. That's the assessment by economic and cryptocurrency experts. These experts have been monitoring efforts in China and other countries developing and piloting central bank digital currencies with the aim of establishing a blockchain-based virtual cash that is cheaper to use and faster to exchange, both at home and across international borders. Why are they concerned about international borders? Because this is going to be the one world currency. It's going to be whatever your nation or country's currency already is. Okay, but it's going to be digital yuan, e-yuan. In Nigeria, they calling it, I had it right here. Slovakia. Look, you got India's, nobody's using CBDCs. India's piloting one anyway. That's from techmonitor.ai. Okay, so in India, they're also rolling out CBDC, but nobody's using it. So this is why you had that guy trying to take out $8,000 and he couldn't take it out because they encouraging more use of just use your card, you know, shop with your card. Use, you know, don't stray away from cash, basically, man. It's gradualism. Don't deal with cash. You know, cash is obsolete. You could just easily make a quick purchase over with your phone. You don't got to pull your wallet out. That's going to take time. Like if 5 seconds is going to delay anyone's day, you know, like if it's too much work for these simple-minded herd mentality fucking people to just take out the cash, count it, you know, give it to the person at the register, they count it, put it in the register. The machine even does the math for you. You don't even have to do the math. The machine does the math on how much change you get back, but they're making these things like inconveniences. They've even had commercials where people are rushing in and out. And the one guy that stops to take out cash, he drops the coins. Everybody's looking at him. Oh man, this dude is fucking the flow up, you know. That's what is going to come out of this, man. Leading all the way up to the MOTB. It says inside Nigeria's, this is from decrypt.co. Inside Nigeria's ambitious push of cashless society, e-Naira CBDC. See, so they put the E in front of whatever. They had the Jamdex, this is Jamaican digital exchange in Jamaica, you know, They got Brazil from CoinDesk.com. Brazil central bank plans to launch a CBDC in 2024. All right, the central bank sees a digital currency as a way of increasing participation in the financial system. So they're pushing this thing all over the place. New York Fed advances tests of CBDCs for cross-border payments. Nigeria limits cash withdrawals to 45 per day in CBDC banking push. Digital banking push. So this is the new trend, man. This is the direction that the world is headed in. And if people don't get down with it, so to speak, this devil's going to come with wrath, man. He's going to come with that great wrath like the scriptures tell you about. All right, he's going to make this thing happen. He's going to either create another false flag. Well, not either. He's going to do it regardless, but either that's going to be the move to get you people scared enough to take it, to take that C-hip, or however this thing is going to go down with the people that got the jab already. They may just start dropping dead. Then that could be the next pandemic. We don't know, man. I mean, we do know, we have an idea, but we just got to wait and see, because we look through a glass darkly. But it becomes more clearer and clearer through prophecy, man, through the testimony of Yahushua, which is the spirit of prophecy. We're able to see these things. 2 Corinthians 2:11, man. Let me get that, and I'll just close off there. 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So when you deal with that word devices in the Greek, it's noema, which means a perception or mental thought or mental perception, an evil purpose. So that's AKA an agenda. All right, the digital bank, the CBDC, central bank digital currency agenda. We're not ignorant of that. We know that it's not just going to stop at digital currency. We know that it's going to be digital currency on the C-hip, on the MOTB. So we're not even going to involve ourselves with it, even though, I'm going to just say this through the spirit, we're going to have to deal with digital currency for a time until the chip comes, because that's the way they're going to make it to be. And we don't have no choice. We go to our enemies for the one of all things. We under the curses still. We're not free from the curses yet. The Lord is having mercy on us. He's bringing back our captivity. He has done that by giving us the truth. We free mentally, we free spiritually, but physically, you want to pay your bills, they're not taking cash, man. You can't go to your rent office, your landlord office, and pay your rent with cash. You can't walk, or you can probably go to the T-Mobile store and pay. But why would you do that? You can see the push in the direction that it's going in. So we're going to be forced to have to, buy and sell with CBDCs for a time, until they bring in that C-hip, man. Then that's it. All bets is off. We can't do that. All right, that's completely against the scriptures. But we already mostly digital already. I'm pretty sure you brothers, you hardly ever use cash. I hardly ever use cash because I don't need to. It's more convenient. It is when you use, when you just pay straight off your debit card, or, what I'm saying? You could just set up with your phone. Apple Pay is way easier, man. It really is. But what is it leading to? That's. Let me get a last scripture here. Proverbs 14 and 15. The simple believeth every word, but the prudent man looketh well to his going. So you got to be prudent in these things, meaning what? You got to be wise when it comes to these scriptures, because the prophecy already tells you what's to come. If you ever need to know what's going to happen next after something else happens, it's all in the scriptures, man. Famine is coming, pestilence is coming, war is coming. That's what we're here to tell you, Jeremiah 28 and 8. And that's what we're prudent about. We're privy to it because Yahweh through Yahushua gave it to us, man. According to Amos 3 and 7, he gave us the secrets, all right, to his servants, the prophets. So we must be the prophets. Proverbs 22 and 3, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. So how are you going to hide yourself from this when King David said in Psalm 64 that hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked? But how can you be hidden from this if this is a global event? You got to hide in Proverbs 91, the shadow of the Almighty, which is in this truth. That's the only way you could be prepared. That's the only way you could foresee the evil and prepare yourself, hide yourself from it. All right? How else are we going to get through this time? We have to go through it. All right? We can't run away from it. We can't move out of America because they're going to do this thing everywhere. So Anywhere in the world you go, they're going to have CBDC. They're going to make that move towards the MOTB real soon, man. They're going to make it law. A lot of comfortabilities are going to be taken away through this. So what choice do we really have, man? It's either be prudent, foresee the evil, and get yourself right and prepared, at least mentally, if you can't prepare yourself physically for it. Because, I mean, you could stock up food. There's nothing wrong with that. That's advisable. You have some extra cans of beans, some extra tuna, some type of food that's more so non-perishable, that has longer shelf life. That's good to do that. That's part of being prudent, but that's not going to deliver us from this time, man. All right, we need Yahweh Shah to deliver us from this time, because this is going to be a global thing. All right, this is not something that you could escape somewhere to. You have to deal with it. We're going to be in it, but the Lord's going to see us through it, Lord willing. All right, but the simple pass on and are punished. So a lot of people are going to, like I said, a prudent man foreseeth the evil. The simple believeth every word, Proverbs 14. Okay, that simple man that believeth every word, that's why he got punished, because they're going to say, yeah, you got to take the C-hip. You got to take it if you want to buy and sell. Okay. You got to take it if you want to keep your job. All right. People are just going to go right along with it because, like, again, as Elder Apostle Ramlab calls it, the herd mentality, the hive mentality of these people, man. They follow each other to do evil, which the scriptures say don't do that. I'm going to get that. And Lord willing, I'm going to end it there. I said that already like 3 times, but it's just a spirit. Proverbs 23 and 2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment. So that's what these other camps are doing. They're not giving you the prudent. They're not equipping you with the hedge. They're not giving you that prudent foresight of what's to come out of the CBDC and what was to come out of the jab and the coronavirus thing and all of that. They weren't telling you people nothing. They're not getting you prepared for what's to come. They declining after many to wrest judgment. So y'all people don't even know what to do. You don't even know how to make the right decision. You're not shrewd. All right, look that word up. You're not shrewd. You're not able to quickly analyze a situation or an event or something that's happening through the spirit and decipher it with the scriptures, man, which is where the judgments are found. So therefore, you got people that saying the MOTB is not the C-hip. So what does that mean? They're pretty much saying, well, take the C-hip then. You don't have to worry about not taking it and having to suffer because you're not trying to take it, because it said many is going to be killed for not taking it. You don't have to deal with that because that's not what it is. So you could still take the chip and be all right. That's bullshit, man. You destroying these people. You're getting them killed. And that's an evil act to take the MOTB. That's an evil act. So it's going to be because of that hive or that herd mentality that people are following multitudes to do evil. They're going to be rushing to them chipping stations, getting their ass chipped up. And then shortly after that, when the rest of the prophecies come to pass, which is mainly just World War III, the day of the Lord, Yahweh Shai coming, all the people is going to burn. They all going to die, man. So that's a counsel that you give into your congregation for telling them that the MOTB is not the chip, the C-hip, excuse me. All right, you speaking in a way that you causing many to wrest judgment, which means to wrestle with the scriptures. Now it's just confusion. They don't know what to do. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna end the lesson off there. I gotta sneeze, man. It's gonna be nasty. So Kol Halal Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bashim Makakwadash. Hope and pray you was edified. Excuse me. Hope and pray you was edified through the Holy Spirit. And Lord willing, I'll see you in the next lesson. Shalom.